Welcome to the free email course, How to Improve Your English Faster. If you're tired of studying and studying but making little progress in your English, then this course is for you. Although there is no magic way to become fluent in English instantly, there are tips that will help you learn faster and more efficiently. And that's what I'm going to teach you in this course. If you put these lessons into practice, you will definitely improve your English faster and make more progress in your fluency. Ready? Let's get started. The first step is to identify your biggest difficulty. From my experience as a teacher, the 6 biggest English learning problems are: listening. I can't understand native speakers because they talk too fast. Vocabulary. I don't know many words, and I forget everything when I try to speak. Pronunciation needs improvement, and I'm worried that other people won't understand me. Confidence. I get very nervous when I speak English. Speaking. I can't express my ideas in English, and I speak with a lot of pauses and hesitation. Grammar errors. I make a lot of mistakes when I speak English. In the next 6 emails, you're going to learn specific strategies for solving all of these problems. Tomorrow's email will teach you some strategies for improving your listening skills so that you can understand native speakers better. I would love to hear from you, so don't forget to email me and tell me where you're from and why you're learning English. Thanks. See you tomorrow. The key to fluent English that most students don't use. If you speak with a lot of pauses and hesitations, but you want to speak fluently and naturally like a native speaker, the secret is learn to think in English. Many English students say, "It's too difficult. I don't know enough English words. I need to think in my native language and translate." However, thinking in your native language and translating results in sentences that don't sound natural in English because the sentence structure is often different in English and your native language. In addition, it takes too much time to think and translate when you're in a conversation, leading to pauses, hesitations, and the inability to speak fast and fluently. So, here is how you can learn to think in English, from the beginner level to advanced. Level 1 is thinking in individual English words. For example, when you wake up in the morning, think of words like bed, toothbrush, bathroom, eat, banana, coffee, clothes, and shoes. Then, when you go to work, think of words like car, job, company, desk, computer, paper, pencil, colleague, and boss. During the day, continue to think of the individual English words for everything you see, hear, and do. Try this exercise right now. Look around you and think of all the English words you can. I'd imagine you can think of at least 10 words. Level 2 is thinking in complete English sentences. On this level, you think in complete phrases and sentences during the day. When you're eating lunch, think, "I'm eating a sandwich. My friend is drinking soda. This restaurant is very good." When you're watching TV, think, That actress is beautiful. Has black hair. He's talking about politics. It's okay if the sentences are very simple. The most important part is to practice and develop the habit of thinking in complete sentences. Level 3 is functional English. On this level, you imagine having to use English for everything that you need to do. After every time you speak in your native language, think of how you would say that in English. For example, how would you buy a train ticket or order a drink in an English-speaking country? A round-trip ticket to Central Station, please. Could I have a lemonade with no sugar? This helps develop your English for real-life situations, even though you are only thinking and not speaking. If during this exercise you don't know how to say something, check your dictionary later. If you do this kind of mental practice regularly, you will develop the ability to use English in any everyday situation. Level 4 is narrative English, telling a story or speaking for a long time in English. It's best to do this exercise when you have some time, like when you're waiting in line or taking public transportation. Think of a memory or story that you would like to tell an English-speaking friend. Then, tell the story in your head in English. Because you are only thinking, not speaking, you can relax and do your best without all the pressure of a real conversation. I hope you can see that you don't need to be super advanced to learn to think in English. You can start today. Try one of the 4 levels this week, thinking in individual words, complete sentences, functional English, or narrative English. Thinking in English is the biggest tip for increasing your fluency because it makes you more confident and helps you speak more easily without hesitation. The next lesson is about correcting your English errors. You'll learn 5 of the most common English errors, and I'll explain how to fix them.
Hello and welcome to Lesson 1 of the Business English course, Essential Job Vocabulary. Let's begin by answering the question, where do you work? This seems like a simple question, but there are many ways to answer it. I work at, I work in, I work for, and I work with. Each preposition is correct in a different context. I work at and I work for are used with the name of the company. For example, I work at Espresso English. I work for Nike. You can also use for if you work directly for a famous person. I work for Tom Cruise. I'm his public relations manager. I work in is used in 4 situations. You can say, I work in a place. I work in an office. I work in a school. I work in a factory. You can also use in with a city or a country. I work in Paris. I work in France. I work in is also used with a department or area of a company. I work in the marketing department. I work in human resources. I work in sales. Finally, you can use I work in with a general area. I work in finance. I work in medical research. I work in consulting. You can say, I work with the things or people that are the objects of your day-to-day work. For example, I work with computers. I'm a teacher. I work with special needs children. If you want to add more details about your work, you can say, I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for updating the company website. I'm responsible for interviewing candidates for jobs. After I'm responsible for, use the ing form of the verb. Let's review. I work at a company. I work for a company or a person. I work in a place, city, country, department, or general area, people, or things. In conversational English, the question "Where do you work?" is commonly phrased as "What do you do?" or "What do you do for a living?" How do you answer this question if you don't have a job? You can say, "I'm unemployed," or more indirectly, "I'm between jobs at the moment." If you work for yourself, you can say, "I'm self-employed." If you have your own company, you can say, "I own a small business," or more specifically, "I own a restaurant," or "I own a graphic design company." Now let's learn some essential employment vocabulary. When you are officially accepted into a new job at a company, you are hired by the company. For example, I was hired by an insurance company just 2 weeks after graduating from college. When you're hired, you become an employee of the company. The company becomes your employer. The other employees in the company are your colleagues or co-workers. The person above you who is responsible for your work is your boss or supervisor. As an employee of the company, you earn a salary, money you receive regularly for your work. Don't make the mistake of saying win a salary or get a salary. The correct verb is earn. If you're good at your job, you might get a pay raise or a raise, an increase in your salary. You could also get a promotion, an increase in importance and authority. At the end of the year, some companies give their employees a bonus, extra money for work well done. The opposite of hire is fire, when your company forces you to leave your job. For example, Peter was fired because he never came to work on time. Usually if someone is fired, it's because they did something bad. If an employee loses his or her job because of a neutral reason, like the company reducing its size, then we say the employee was laid off. For example, Donna was laid off when her company started having financial problems. If you decide to leave your job, there are 3 verbs you can use. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to leave my job. I'm going to resign. Quit is informal. Resign is formal. And leave can be formal or informal. When an old person decides to stop working, the verb for this is retire. In most countries, people retire around age 65. Let's review the vocabulary you learned in this lesson. Listen and repeat to practice your pronunciation. Hire, employee, employer, colleague, co-worker, boss, supervisor, fire, laid off, earn a salary, get a pay raise, get a promotion, get a bonus, quit your job, leave your job, resign from your job, retire. Now you can take the vocabulary quiz to practice using these words and sentences. There's also a bonus quiz with extra vocabulary related to professions. That's it for Lesson 1 of the Business English course. Come back tomorrow for Lesson 2, Everyday English phrases and expressions. Part 1. Everyday spoken English is full of small phrases and expressions that you often don't find in English textbooks because they're rather informal. However, knowing and understanding these phrases is important because they are common in English conversation. In this lesson, you'll learn 8 phrases and expressions. Number 1. I'll say. This expression is used when you strongly agree with what the other person said. Often, we use it to imply that the other person made an understatement, and the truth is even stronger than what they said. For example, if your friend says, "That's a big fish," you can respond, "I'll say." It means you agree and you think the fish is not just big, it's huge. Number 2. Fat chance. This is a sarcastic way to say that there is very little possibility of something happening. The possibility is so small that you think it won't happen. For example, if you and your friend are talking about 2 sports teams, and your friend says the Red Sox are going to win the championship this year, you can say, "Fat chance, they'll never beat the Yankees." Number 3. I rest my case. Say this when you are expressing a fact or opinion, and something happens to prove your point perfectly and show that you are completely correct. For example, if you tell your friend you can't cook at all, and your friend says, "I cook all the time. I make those instant noodle soups," you can say, "I rest my case," because the fact that he only makes instant noodle soups is proof that he really can't cook. Number 4. What's the catch? Say this when something sounds too good to be true. It means you suspect that there's a hidden problem, which might make the situation not as good as it appears to be. For example, if your friend says, "Sell me his car for just $500, you can answer, "What's the catch?" Because you think $500 is too low of a price for the car, so there must be some problem. Number 5. Good call. Use this expression to say the other person made a good decision or smart observation. For example, if you and your friend are trying to decide whether to go to the mall or the movies, and she says, "Let's go to the mall. They're having a big sale this weekend. We can go to the movies anytime." You can answer, "Good call." It means you think her decision was good. Number 6. Take your pick. Say this when you are offering various items for the other person to make a choice. For example, if you are offering tea to your friend, you can say, "I have chai, ginger, green tea, and black tea. Take your pick." You are inviting your friend to make a choice, which type of tea she wants. Number 7. Make yourself at home. Say this to welcome a visitor to your home. You are telling them to sit down, get comfortable, and relax. Number 8. It's a small world, or what a small world. Say this in reaction to an unexpected coincidence. For example, if you meet someone at a conference and you ask, "Where did you go to college?" and the other person says, "Stanford University," you can say, "What a small world. I studied there too." Thanks for watching English Tips from Espresso English. If you liked this video, please share it.